UFC 316 just recently wrapped up, and I'm going to recap the entire card. The O'Malley dream is dead. We'll talk about everything. I'll start from the first fight of the night, then work my way up to the championship main event where Marab beat O'Malley, and we'll get in depth about all of these fights. So let's just jump right into things. Also, thank you guys for 48,500 subscribers. The live stream was fantastic. I love you guys. Let's get into the fights. Fight number one. We have Markel Mederos versus Mark Choinski. Mederos defended takedowns fairly well. I mean, 2 out of 11 for Choinski, who's an All-American wrestler. I'd say that's pretty impressive for Mederos. Taken down a little bit late in the fight, but Choinski wasn't able to do anything. Mederos' striking was technical. His leg kicks were really the key to victory here. He dropped Choinski with several leg kicks and even had Choinski grimacing a bit as he hit the floor. Mederos is sound on the feet. He picks his shots well. He's high volume, high output striking. Is 110 significant strikes to 58. Clearly outstruck Choinski. Choinski didn't have anything for him. On the ground, I mean, he could get on top rarely, but when he did, he could get on top. He couldn't do anything with it. And Markel Mederos defended that one bad spot he was kind of in when Choinski had mount super late in the fight, then was trying to get the rear naked choke. Mederos ended the fight back up on his feet. So at the end of the day, Mederos seems to be getting better at the grappling defense side of things. High volume, striking attack, technical striking flow, and a clean W. Now, Mark Choinski, respect to him taking the fight on short notice. He's tough. He's in shape. He swings hard. He shoots for takedowns. Doesn't do anything exceptionally well. But I respect a man who steps in on short notice. I think he should probably cut down to 145 if he was ready to go on short notice for a fight in the lightweight division. But that's up to his team. We'll see what happens. For Markel, I'd be down with the Balagioki fight rebooked, to be honest with you. I feel like that's the direction to go down. He's a friend of the show, Markel Mederos. You're always invited if you want to come on a live stream and talk about the win. We'll be in touch, Markel. I like Markel. He's a really cool guy, bro. In the cage, he looked pretty good, too. And he was dealing with a tough guy coming in here, representing Rufus Sport. He was a hard-nosed All-American wrestler. He was in good shape. And Mederos did what he had to do. 3-0 in the UFC, too. Give the Balagioki fight a rebooking. Let's keep moving. Next fight on the card, Quillian Salkilld versus Yanal Ashmouz. First 2 rounds, Salkilld looked really good. Even in the striking, he landed some good straight shots. Consistent as fuck with takedowns. 8 out of 23, but those 8, they looked fairly substantial. Taking Ashmouz down, controlling him. Ashmouz, not easy to, beat up from top position or not really close to getting locked into anything tight. But still, Salkilld was consistent with like takedown pressure, control, bit of ground and pound. They work up against the cage, knees to the legs, control of the position, shoot for another drag, strike from distance, mix in takedown some more, throw straight shots, throw body kicks. In round number 3, Ashmouz actually landed a couple of Hail Mary punches, and he had Salkilld badly hurt. I thought, Ashmouz was a clear winner around 3. So if you played the spread and you lost because the 30-27, you're pissed off. You're pissed off. You're pissed. I don't blame you for being pissed because 29-28, that spread should have hit for the gamblers out there. If you're not on the gambling side, well, Ashmouz threw caution to the wind at the end of the fight, and he tried hard to, make something. He didn't give up, but he doesn't even seem like a lightweight. I've been saying this for a bit. I feel like he's a featherweight. He's a really jacked featherweight. He needs to move down. Quillian Salkilld is really tall. There's other tall freaks at lightweight. I get it. He knocked out Sam Patterson, but, Patterson now at 170 was killing himself to make that weight. Beautiful shot. Drop the fucking weight class. Sure, you knocked out one tall guy, but better off, Ashmouz fighting at 145 than fighting at 155 because he's completely outsized here against a Salkilld. For Salkilld, man, holy shit, the commentary talking like he's the next contender. He looks so ready to contend. I'm like, can we chill the fuck out, please? Commentary's acting like we're ready to throw Salkilld to the top 15. Yo, Salkilld is going to fight the winner of like a Benil Dariush and Hanato Moicano, or he's going to fight the Fiziev Bahamondes winner. You think so? Listen to the commentary. No, he's not ready for that. I think they got to pump the brakes, man. Holy shit. He's got 2 UFC fights. He beat, Ashmouz. He beat fucking Jubli. Want to give him an interesting fight? Give him a weird one. Give him the Prince of Peru, Claudio Puelles, as an awkward ass stylistic matchup. Two guys that are good on the ground. I feel like Salkilld could potentially TKO him. He's battle tested and has fought solid competition before. If they really want to put him on the fast track, a guy like Claudio Puelles makes the most sense. On the opposite end of things, for Ashmouz, if he don't cut down to 145, I really don't think he has a great future because he's gonna get outmatched, bro. Look at the size difference. What is it listed at? 6 foot to 5'9". Dog, Ashmouz is 5'7". What about these 6'2" freaks at lightweight? You see what I'm saying? Ashmouz is a damn featherweight. Cut the rest of the weight off. Get down. I get it. He's shredded. It's a hard weight cut. But listen, if Kayla Harrison can make 135, Ashmouz can make 145. All right. They're built almost the same. And I'm going to say he can do it. Good win for Salkilld. Next fight. Ju Sang-Yu is a certified savage. Ju Sang-Yu is special. I was singing his praises all week. And of course, he was a huge favorite. So it's not like I'm flexing. Yeah, man. Yeah, bro. That pick was so easy. It was, but I'm talking about the actual performance, man. First round KO, looking terrifying on the feet. Incredibly slick lead hook after a light feint of Saragih's wild shot. It has put himself right in the pocket, and the perfect counter drops him, puts him out, fight done. My God. Timing is unreal for you. Comes from a boxing base, and he's obviously got some MMA skills forming. Purple belt in jiu-jitsu. Kicks look pretty good too. He looked amazing against Jeka Saragih. But let's not forget, Jeka Saragih might be one of the worst UFC fighters of the modern era. He has a loss to Anshu Jubli and Weston Wilson. But the way that you beat him, that's how you should beat a Jeka Saragih if you're looking to make a bit of a statement. Now, of course, he's a Korean zombie prospect, literally known as Junior Zombie or Zombie Junior, and he's walking out to a Korean zombie song. I think he's got a great future. It's just he is 31. So what does a great future in this game mean? Does that mean we're going to see him fighting for the belt in 2 years? I don't know. But I definitely think you got interesting fights for him. He just beat the worst guy on the featherweight class, probably. One of the worst guys on the roster, for sure. It's tough to say what they do. Like a considerable step up in competition. Is that possible? Is that what they want to do with him because of his age? I don't think so. I think you have to give him fights that he can kind of, paint this canvas. He's 9-0. Is he ready for a Lucas Almeida fight? Because that could be it. You want to give him a guy with experience. Outside of that, I mean, there's the Bogdangrad Mohamed Naimov winner, maybe. Willie Cat? I don't know, man. I think that Ju Sang-Yu, excuse me, has a lot of potential. And I think he's really, really good at striking. It's just, I have to be realistic and we have to chill for a second before singing his praises as if this guy's taking over the game. I think he's got aura 100%, but he's 31, for the featherweight division. That's up there for a prospect. Not old, right? He's still got probably a good 4 years left of his prime. But right now, how good is he? Is he ready for those top guys? I feel like got to take it, a little slower. Use him as a good prospect. Go back to Korea, put him on the card. Kind of like somebody to build their market. He wants to, take the belt home to Korea. I mean, a debut win like that tells me he could do it. It just would help if he was 25 because he's 31. I guess I have a little bit more doubt, but not an impossibility. Striking looked terrifying. Accuracy was crazy. And a savage win for Ju Sang-Yu. Shout out to Ju Sang-Yu. I keep calling him Ju Sang-Yu. Ju Sang-Yu, thank you, bro. Sick win. Wang Cong versus Ariane Da Silva. Ariane Da Silva. Fucking, I keep calling her Ariane Lipski, man. It's killing me. I got to switch up this name. Ariane Lipski Da Silva and Wang Cong. I'm not saying Wang Tong. Can't even say it, to be honest. She missed weight by a shitload. She has a benign tumor on her pituitary. Doesn't that give you giantism? I was really confused by that. I don't know. Is there any medical professional that can type in the comments? That's weird. I'll ask ChatGPT if not. Wang looked clean. Wang looked good. That's a nice performance for Wang. Wang put on a good one. Wang stuck it to her well. Good kicks to the legs, chopped up Ariane De Silva's legs bad and had her hurt with leg kicks. Pretty accurate with her strikes, defending the takedown attacks, defending the wild strike attacks. Wang's good. She's a sharp kickboxer who landed a shitload of strikes against, Lipski De Silva, who also missed weight. Had a couple moments throwing hard shots, but was clearly behind. This is a pretty massive win for Wang because it puts her amongst the higher levels. Of course, she has that bad loss to Fernandez a couple fights ago, 3 fights ago now. But that was a fluke. She's at what, 125? Lipski was 13 in the world. Yo, is she getting moved up that fast? She called out Jessica Andrade. Why is it that the Jessica Andrade fight seems perfect? Andrade on her way out can be used as an opponent to build Wang's name. I think that's the perfect matchup. That was a 10 out of 10 call out. I feel like just give her the fight. I don't care about the Fernandez loss. The women's divisions need some thunder, and we know that Wang brings a fun striking style. She's fast as hell. Lipski De Silva, rough loss for her. I don't know. I mean, she's a damn bantamweight as far as I'm concerned. She got to get this pituitary tumor figured out and then see what happens after that, because I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, you could give her the winner of Stoliarenko and Gabriela Fernandez. Give her a chance to take out the girl who beat Fernandez. That's so weird. Stoliarenko is fighting Gabriela Fernandez. That's wild to me. Fernandez has 2 straight wins, beats Wang, but she's fighting against, Stoliarenko, who's considered a bit of a scrub. Watch Stoliarenko chokes her out. Fucking MMA for you. Good win for Wang. She looked really good. Give her Andrade. Put her on the fast track. We need it. Fuck it. The loss to Fernandez was a fluke anyways. Let's go. Next fight, Khaos Williams, Andreas Gustafsson. Hey, I hate to tell you that I told you. Actually, I don't hate to tell you it. I'm happy to tell you that I told you so. Listen, I had Andreas Gustafsson, and I thought that style would work really well for him. And you saw it play out, the Greco-Roman base. So it's just psychotic, downright delusional, relentless pressure. He didn't allow Khaos Williams to ever set his feet. Khaos likes to throw power shots. Gustafsson was on him from the moment the round start, from the moment the damn fight started, blitzing him with shots, pressuring him backwards. Khaos can't set his feet. He doesn't have a jab. All he throws is wild hooks. And normally, you got to sit there and be patient to get caught with the wild hook. Gustafsson doesn't allow that because he's just a fucking ballistic psycho. Great pressure against the cage. Good punches on the inside. Good body work. Good knees to the body. A typical Gustafsson fight mixed in a bit of takedowns. Andreas Gustafsson's a bad man. Andreas Gustafsson's a fun style, too. He's in your face the whole time. He doesn't stop. His gas tank is crazy. He has one of those DDP Marab gas tanks. He also has that awkward style. 34 years old, welterweight division, beating the brakes off of Khaos Williams in a debut. That tells me, we don't have to take it too slow with an Andreas Gustafsson. I don't think we should. Say what you want about Khaos Williams. I mean, I still feel like he's amongst the better half of the welterweight division. I look at Tapology's rankings, and I'm like, how do we have Khaos at 49? Lost to Bonfim, but he beat Bedoya. I mean, the Bedoya fight sucked. He beat Harris. Lost to Randy Brown. Right now, I think that Andreas Gustafsson beats Alex Morono's ass. He breaks him. Yo, I got a crazy idea, though. I don't know if the UFC will do this, but this is a cool idea. If you want to fight, a fun fight, you could go Nico Price, Andreas Gustafsson. And I feel like Gustafsson could melt Nico. But Nico can crack for sure. Still super heavy-handed. When he's on one, Nico Price is nasty. But he's 1 in what? 1 in 3 in his last 4. They probably don't give it to him. You want to throw him to the fucking savages? You give him Nicholas Dalby, who just got his face destroyed by Randy Brown in a great war. And Gustafsson and Dalby kind of both have the similar pressure-based styles. I get it. He's only got 1 UFC fight, but he's 34 years old. Are we going to take that long to move him up the ranks? What else can you really do? You have to kind of make the push. You go D-Rod if you want a different type of matchup. D-Rod's coming off 2 straight wins. That could be an interesting fight as well. Andreas Gustafsson and D-Rod. Could D-Rod stop the relentless pressure? looking at the top 15, and I'm like, does he have a chance to break into the top 15? I couldn't even imagine him and Michael Venom Page fighting. It's just such a strange matchup. Vicente Luque now booted out of the rankings probably, with Kevin Holland moving in probably at the 15 spot. I just feel like his relentless style is going to be tough for people to deal with. But if somebody can sit on their fucking punches and just counter that blitz, Gustafsson's definitely there to be hit. It's just you have to be in shape and you have to be prepared to fight off the clinch attack. And you have to be willing to sit on your shots, because Gustafsson's definitely going to sit on his damn shots. Good win beating up Khaos Williams. I said, man, I could see Khaos retiring after this fight. It was such a lopsided beating. He got handled bad. Gustafsson looked good. Big W for Gustafsson. Relentless savage. And I feel like he's an interesting matchup moving up the ranks. I like him and D-Rod the most, maybe, but the Dalby fight would just be cool. It's just I think Gustafsson will want to fight sooner, and Dalby coming off that bad loss, I don't think he's going to be ready to turn around that quick. And for, a guy at 34 years old like Gustafsson, I say move him faster, especially with the win against a veteran like Khaos. Let's keep running. Serghei Spivac, where's Waldo Cortes-Acosta? All I have to say is respect to where's Waldo. Serghei Spivac actually looked better than normal striking, but where's Waldo able to defend the takedowns and was definitely cleaner and more accurate on the feet, though Spivac did land some hard shots. Waldo was just more active, heavier leg kicks, more straight shots, more technically sound. Fighting off all the takedown attempts was a good visual for Waldo. I scored it 29-28, and I said I think you could favor it Waldo, right? It was close, though. I felt like third round was a coin flip round. I felt like it was a coin flip. 29-28, either side is fair. When I saw 30-27, I was confused, and I was even more confused when the 30-27 scorecard came in, because I thought, okay, you have to give round one to Spivac. I thought he definitely won the first, but strangely, the two judges that scored at 29-28 all gave Spivac the third round, not the first round. Confused me, because I thought the third round was very toss-up. First round, I thought was close, but I thought it was Spivac, and second round, Waldo. So interesting, right? If they would have scored the first round, Spivac goes the other way. It was a coin flip decision at the end. Better for the division if Waldo wins. Why? New face amongst the top. Whereas Waldo has not fought the best guys in the light heavyweight division. He hasn't fought guys like Tom Aspinall, who Spivac fought. Not saying he's fighting Tom Aspinall anytime soon, but we've seen Spivac lose to the interim champ Aspinall. We've seen him lose to Ciryl Gane, right? So we kind of know, okay, Serghei Spivac loses to Jailton Almeida. He's not breaking into the top 6. Where's Waldo with his takedown defense looking pretty good? Jumping up the ranks big time here. Whereas Waldo could find himself in a pretty marquee heavyweight fight. Whereas Waldo could find himself with the chance of a lifetime against a big name. Huh. Who do I think Where's Waldo fights next? I'm looking at this heavyweight division, and I feel like with the John Jones situation, you never know. We'll see what happens with that. Is it crazy to think Where's Waldo, Serghei Spivac? Or Serghei Pavlovich? Could he not get a fight against Serghei Pavlovich? He's on a huge win streak. It's a battle of strikers too, though I think, I would favor the grappling skills of, the power hitter Serghei Pavlovich. Like offensively, I mean, Spivac couldn't get him down. I don't know if Pavlovich is either. In a striking fight, that's really interesting. Waldo's a very good athlete, so it makes it interesting against some of these higher level guys. Jailton Almeida. There's guys in the mix. Alexander Volkov. I feel like with the win over Serghei Spivac, it's big name fights from here on out for Where's Waldo. I think don't give him Curtis Blades, because that could be on paper the worst matchup for him, because I could see Blades getting him down. But if you went Serghei Pavlovich versus Where's Waldo, interesting striking matchup. Volkov, same type of situation. I think those are two really good options for him. See what the UFC decides, but Where's Waldo is amongst the elite level heavyweight contenders now, and he's on an absolute tear. I mean, the one loss to Rogerio de Lima, he's definitely gotten a lot better since 2023. I mean, shit, he didn't look great in his UFC debut getting leg kicked a bit. Look at him now. He's getting fucking leg kicks off. He's riding a 5-fight win streak at heavyweight. He's the only promising heavyweight contender, I feel like. Obviously, I don't think he's beaten Tom Aspinall. I don't think he's beaten the elite guys. But where's Waldo comes from a pro boxing background. I mean, it's a represent for boxing in a sense, man. Willing to work some grappling? Shit. Got some hands on you? All right. Former baseball player turned fighter. Where's Waldo's got the dog in him, man? Shit. Big fights only. Spivac, I mean, he's in a bit of a weird spot, right? Because Serghei Spivac has lost at a higher level. Now he loses to a guy behind him. Serghei Spivac and Shamil Gaziev might be just what the doctor ordered. We'll see what happens. Let's keep running up the card. Azamat Murzakanov in the next fight. He took out Brennison Ribeiro in round 1. Perfect prediction. I said round 1 KO's the money call here. And I thought it would be in the pocket, and it was. It was, big shot over the top to the forehead of Ribeiro. He goes down. Then relentless ground and pound from Murzakanov. He gets him out of there. He's looking fast on the feet. Ribeiro looked okay early. He looked long. But Murzakanov was clearly more precise with his hands and quicker in the pocket. And even called for a 5-round fight after, which I have to say ballsy of Murzakanov, because the issue with him in the past has been we kind of have doubts around his gas tank, but fuck. He wants a 5-round fight. Okay, shit. He wants a main event. You got to give him something big. I mean, we got a 15-0 heavyweight contender in the UFC. They need to push Murzakanov right now. Where do they push him to, though? Who do they give him? Is it crazy if we went Murzakanov versus Jan Blachowicz? Could that not be a perfect fight? Blachowicz coming off 2 losses and a draw. Murzakanov undefeated as a professional. Stylistically, it's a very interesting matchup. I think that one could be pretty good. I like the idea of that fight. If they're not going Jan versus Prochazka, I think that could be money. Murzakanov was scheduled to fight Johnny Walker, but I feel like you got to move him up a little more than that. And of course, there's like the Volkan Ozdemirs. I don't think they give him Dominic Reyes for some reason. I don't think they give him a Yuri Prochazka. But I could see Azamat calling for a 5-rounder. A 5-round fight is him versus Jan Blachowicz. That's a big matchup. Could it be a special edition co-main event 5 rounds? I don't know. But Murzakanov deserves a marquee light heavyweight fight. We have to see it now. Light heavyweight division needs it. 15-0. It's like on paper, somebody that could challenge an Ankalaev maybe. Obviously, his frame is not great. He's made it work well for him so far. And he did damn good here against Brennison Ribeiro. I like the ideas of him fighting against Jan Blachowicz. I get it. He just beat an unranked guy, but how often do you have a 15-0 fighter? An undefeated guy in the rankings at light heavyweight? Like, we kind of need him right now. We need at least a chance. And sure, if Blachowicz fucks him up, all right, Blachowicz in a big fight. It's not the end of the world. I like the idea of giving him a fight against Jan Blachowicz. Obviously, there's Carlos Ulberg, but I'd rather Ulberg fight somebody else and then, still be a viable contender. Dom Reyes, similar situation. But we'll see what the UFC decides. They might have to kill one of the contenders, and we'll see who they decide to execute. But I like Jan Blachowicz versus Azamat Murzakanov next. I think that's a really cool fight. For Brennison Ribeiro, definitely a roster spot because he deserves respect for taking this short notice fight. Next up, Joshua Van showcase performance. He beat the brakes off of Bruno Silva. It looked like he was on his way to a first-round KO, dropping Bruno, cracking him with big shots. So relentless. Hands looked so on point. Bruno would get wild with these crazy-ass blitzes, and Joshua Van would just find perfect counter shots. He was so much slicker and more precise with his hands. It was actually fucking crazy to me. Bruno looked so sloppy with the boxing, just throwing crazy shit, super wide and like chin out there, almost like Jeka Saragih. Not that bad. Leg kicks were on point. Body kicks were on point. Bruno looks good with the legs. He landed like one takedown. I was going to say a couple, but no, it was one takedown. Survival takedown. Was hurt bad pretty much every round of the fight, actually. He was caught by thunderous shots. And if you know, the over 2.5 was part of the Lock City parlay, so it was a sweaty one, and it did go over 2.5, so fuck yeah. And Joshua Van gets a 3rd-round knockout, hurting Bruno Silva towards the cage with punches. And Bruno wilted. He actually melted, I think, against the fence. Goes down. Van pounds him out. I think Bruno Silva got absolutely beat on for all 3 rounds. And after a bad loss, too, to Manel Kopp in the fight prior, Bruno Silva might be done, okay? Because he's been fucked up. Yeah, he's been fucked up against really good strikers, but he's taken immense damage and he's not responding well to the big shots. And this one, obviously, more clean than the last one, which, the groin strikes were a factor. Joshua Van just got the biggest win of his life against Bruno Silva. He keeps on moving up the rankings here. He's amongst the higher level now. He wants to fight all the time, which is really awesome. But as you get into the top 15, finding ranked opponents to fight all the time, not that easy to do. Not easy to do at all, really. Steve Erceg is scheduled to fight Alex Perez. Manel Kopp is scheduled to fight against Brandon Royval. Maybe he needs to be in a situation where he stays ready, and maybe a short notice opportunity could be something to jump at. Tagir Ulanbekov, he's scheduled to fight against Azat Maxim, so Ulanbekov's not a possibility for him. How far up the ranks are we moving him? Temirov is booked to fight against Almabayev. The Kai Asakura fight could be really cool, but I'm not sure the UFC books Van versus Asakura. I mean, he took out Bruno Silva, but Bruno, to be fair, might be the worst guy of the top 15, just to be real. And I think Joshua Van's awesome. I'm a big Joshua Van fan, and I have been for a while. I think his potential is crazy at 23. But I will say I could see him running into trouble as he moves up the ranks. Hence how he deals with some of these guys that can wrestle well. Like a Ramazan Temirov and Joshua Van fight at some point would be fucking mastery shit. Like that's battle of insane power and explosiveness of Temirov's side, and then insane speed and boxing combinations for Van. Like that's a great fight. That's a fight I want to see. I don't think they make it next. I'm actually like sitting here a bit unsure. Kaya Sakura, is he fighting Tim Elliott still? Let me double check if he's doing that. Is that still booked, or did he pull out? Oh, he's fighting Tim Elliott. Asakura Elliott. I could see him fighting the Asakura Elliott winner if Kai goes out there and beats an Elliott. That puts him in a very good spot. And I could see Van in that matchup in a battle of strikers there. I definitely think that the UFC would get behind it and be pretty hyped about it. And I'd be pretty hyped too. I think the flyweight division's really good right now. Joshua Van's a player for sure, but I will say, as you look at the elites of the world, he's still really, really young. I think eventually he fights like a Tatsuru Taira, and if he's stopping those takedowns, his hands are next level. Most guys don't have the boxing chops like him. Joshua Van's a beast. He's a special talent. Now, he's an 8-1 favorite here. That's why I think the winner of Asakura and Elliott makes more sense. Don't move him up the ranks too quick. But a great fight to close out the prelims and a fabulous win. Cheers. I'm going to keep drinking this Diet Schweppes, guys. I need the flavor. Let's keep moving up. Next fight on the card. Main card opener. Hit the likes if you guys are enjoying and you haven't yet. And make sure you subscribe too if you're new. Vicente Luque, Kevin Holland. Started the main card off right. Holland yapping. Holland yapping like crazy. Throwing hard shots off rip against Vicente Luque, and cracked Luque with a nasty elbow and close that caused a big hematoma. And I was nervous for Luque. He had that brain bleed a couple years ago after the Jeff Neal fight, so he's had some health scares with this fight game shit. And that elbow ain't doing him anything good. It's not healthy for the brain to take an elbow like that. And Holland ripped him with it. Good work with the hands and even the kicks for Holland in round one. But Luque still landed a couple of shots. Like Holland was kind of like weaving with him, but still a couple of shots landed for Vicente Luque in the first. He tried that takedown and Holland just beat the shit out of him with punches, cracked Luque with big shots that even busted him up a little bit. He tried to wrestle with Holland, and Holland's like, nah, it ain't going to work at 170, buddy. And Luque was eating heat and let it go. Luque got beat up in round one and definitely lost the first. Round two comes around. Decent striking exchange. It's nothing too crazy. They end up tying up, going to the mat. Front headlock position for Holland turns into the Anaconda. The fight is wraps a minute into round number two. He wins by submission against Luque, who's known for really good jiu-jitsu and obviously taking a lot of punches, probably wanted to grapple a lot more. Was unable to here with Holland. And Holland brings himself back to the top 15. At 170, he's a completely different fighter. At 85, we're thinking he's washed. At 170, Kevin Holland is a top 15 contender. And he made a great call out after the fight. Genius call out. He called out Colby Covington. Yes, that's the fight to book. Holland Covington is a perfect fight. Both popular. Obviously, the wrestling style of Colby, the more, boxing-based, dangerous striking style, and the length of Holland, which brings a sub threat. I think Kevin Holland could end up beating a Colby Covington. From the UFC, I'm booking Kevin Holland, Colby Covington, and it's a fight night main event, or it's a big fight on a pay-per-view. But I think 5 rounds. I think 5 rounds is better. They do it 3, pay-per-view fight. If they do it at a fight night, 5-round main event. Oh my gosh, that's a good fight. He made the call out. It was perfect. He was flowing on the mic. He looked incredible in the cage. He just easily subbed Vicente Luque after beating him up in the first round. No brainer. Book that fight immediately. Now, for Vicente Luque, you want the truth, I think retirement, but he's still relatively young. So I feel like retirement might not be on his mind right now, though. I think it could. And it's not because, oh, he lost to Kevin Holland. It's not that. It's the fact that he's had these health issues, right? And he doesn't move the same as he used to. I don't want to give him a Carlos Prates. I don't want to give him somebody like that. Santiago Ponzinibbio, Vicente Luque. I feel like you can't match him up. It's like, it's not even fair for Ponzio. Ponzio's got chin bad. Mike Malott, I guess. I don't like anything for him. Chidi Bang Bang and Jakawani versus Jake Matthews winner, maybe. I don't know. I'm going to say is this. Vicente Luque, he got handled by Kevin Holland. I'm sure he can beat some people on the UFC roster. I mean, he beat Themba Garimbo. So, like, yes, he can still win fights. But as far as top 15 caliber, no. Vicente Luque is not there anymore. Good win for Holland, though. Let's keep running. I got to take a second to breathe real quick, guys. Patchy Mix got absolutely handled by Mario Bautista, and his striking got completely exposed. He got his face boxed up for 3 rounds by Mario Bautista, who, yes, has a good volume output, but has never looked that clean on the feet in his life. Mario Bautista's boxing looked crazy on point. He also looked really jacked and had like a big frame advantage on Mario Bautista, or excuse me, on Patchy Mix. Mario looks slick with his punches, cracking Patchy with straight shots consistently, and Patchy just keeping his head on the center line, just eating, thudding shots. Patchy looked really skinny out there. Like, he looked in worse shape than I've seen. Mario Bautista just looked like a freak. Patchy was still cracking till the very end and sitting in there, but he's choosing to just engage in a kickboxing fight with Mario Bautista. The hype on Patchy Mix is his ability to get fights to the ground and his ability to threaten with submissions. The fact that he went out there and just kickboxed had me like, what is happening? Will he shoot 1 takedown? Patchy is known for slick jiu-jitsu, insane grappling, and he kickboxes with Mario Bautista for 3 rounds and just got absolutely fucking handled. Mario looked great, though. High output, clean striking, clean leg kicks, clean body work, clean straights. Patchy landed that nice high kick, and Patchy landed a couple of lead hooks, and there was strikes for Patchy. I mean, shit, he landed 122 significant shots. He landed strikes in the fight. The bigger shots, the better shots, the cleaner shots, the more impactful shots, all Mario Bautista. All Mario Bautista, all day. Mario boxed him up. Mario picked him apart. And Mario fraud checked him. I mean, Patchy Mix is the sitting Bellator bantamweight champ, and he just got beaten up for 3 rounds by Mario Bautista. That's a fucking statement by Bautista. But that's also a huge fumble by Patchy Mix, who was salivating at the bit to get to the UFC with the 20-1 record. He had a nice win streak. He was the final sitting Bellator bantamweight champion. Holy shit, Bellator. Holy shit, Bellator. They're done, obviously. But yeah, Bellator guys are getting killed. Patricio, Patchy, I mean, Michael Chandler. I feel like shit, even Aaron Pico. If they book Aaron Pico Movzar, I might just have to go Movzar by KO, because seeing how these guys are performing that were elite level outside of the UFC, like Bellator, PFL, not great. Not good either. Dude, Mario Bautista made a statement, though. Mario Bautista looked really clean. Like, to, flack Patchy Mix this whole time is me doing a disservice to just how good Mario Bautista looked. And I'm telling you right now, Mario Bautista fucking dog walks Marlon Chito Vera. Mario Bautista is amongst the top guys. Am I crazy for thinking Mario Bautista Marab's actually a good fight? Because Batista's in great shape and he can wrestle. I think either you're rebooking the Marlon Vera fight, but maybe you're doing Song Yadong. Mario Bautista Song Yadong is a very intriguing fight. Both guys coming off wins over greats in the game. Jose Aldo for Bautista, and for Song Yadong, obviously, the win against Henry Cejudo. I like Mario Bautista and Song. And it'll be interesting to see, can Mario dog walk a guy like Song who can crack like very few at 135 pounds. But also, there's other fights for Song Yadong that interest me, which I'll talk about soon. Mario Bautista is amongst the top guys in the world. His gas tank is crazy. He's got the grit factor. He's got the Marab, unbreakable will thing. Patchy Mix, shit, he's in a rough spot. Bautista could also fight the winner of Marcus McGee and Piotr Yan, to be fair. It doesn't even make sense that Marcus McGee's fighting Yan, but, if that's what they're doing, they are. I mean, if you're the UFC, what are you doing for Patchy Mix? Do you give him a Rob Font? No, because Rob Font's ranked ahead of Mario Bautista. Patchy Mix versus somebody like a Kyler Phillips or Montel Jackson, maybe, if you want to keep him in the rankings. Like, does he deserve to not get a chance against a ranked fighter because of how badly he got handled in this fight? I think that's the key question here. You fight a Bryce Mitchell, Said Nurmagomedov winner? I don't think they give him Vinicius Oliveira, to be fair. He's scheduled to fight Kyler Phillips, too, so that's not an option. I think Montel Jackson, Patchy Mix could be it, but Jackson's on a huge win streak. I think like a Kyler Phillips, Vinicius Oliveira loser, or a Said Nurmagomedov, Bryce Mitchell winner or loser could be it. If they want to push him outside of the rankings, there's opponents he can fight. Like, you could give him a guy like Jonathan Martinez, who's lost 2 in a row. You want to give him a chance to, fight someone that was formerly ranked and get a win, or are you going to keep him amongst the top 15? He was in a really good fight with Mario Bautista. It was entertaining, but he lost handily. This is a terrible spot to be in if you're Patchy Mix. Terrible. Terrible spot. We'll see if he can turn it around. A lot of guys, Eddie Alvarez lost to Cowboy, and then he became champ. So guys have come, but then there's the Will Brooks of the world who never did anything in the UFC. Michael Chandler's taken a lot of losses, though he's made a shitload of money. I guess I just thought more Patchy. I really thought he could get past the Bautista puzzle, or at least try to wrestle him. But no, he just wanted to kickbox and didn't have it for Mario Bautista. Mario looked really good. Mario's striking, it's very effective. He's in great shape. He's got a good chin on him. He can do it all well. He's the king of the generalist, and his striking is starting to really come together. I thought this was a star-studded win, so shout out Mario Bautista for checking Patchy Mix. Very impressed. Next fight, feature fight. Kelvin Gastelum, Joe Pyfer. Joe Pyfer, he won, but leaves some doubt on the table. Now, in round number 1, his power is unmatched, okay? Joe Pyfer is one of the hardest hitters in the UFC, period. Dropped Kelvin Gastelum twice in round 1 and even kicked him in the head, and Gastelum didn't fall. Joe Pyfer 10-8'd that first round for sure and nearly had Gastelum out. Thunderous power from Joe Pyfer. Round 2 was closer, but Pyfer still landed the more effective shots, and I scored the second round for him. But round 3, Gastelum's coming on strong. Catches Pyfer with a big left, has Pyfer moving backwards and uncomfortable in striking exchanges. I thought that Kelvin Gastelum definitely took a competitive, but a Gastelum third round. And then it makes you think, like, what happens if this is a 5-round fight? Is it a draw? What happens in a 5-rounder? Because Kelvin Gastelum, round 3, was starting to come on strong. It was looking better than both of the first 2 rounds. But the right guy won. Joe Pyfer wins. And Joe Pyfer beats a Kelvin Gastelum, who's, a longtime staple of the UFC middleweight division. Is he a top middleweight anymore? Maybe not, but he's still a good middleweight. Joe Pyfer in the top 20 now. Joe Pyfer just beat Kelvin Gastelum, but he did something really impressive, which is drop him on multiple occasions. That demands respect, in my opinion. That demands a ton of respect. Now, Joe Pyfer is in a damn crowded middleweight division. Number 15 at middleweight, Abus Magomedov. Joe Pyfer, Abus Magomedov is not a stretch. Do they give him that fight, though? The Jack Hermanson loss, him struggling a little bit later here, this fight. Kind of makes the most sense to me. Bruno Ferreira is fighting Ikram Aliaskarov in July. The winner of Ikram Aliaskarov, Bruno Ferreira, is definitely an interesting fight for the side of Joe Pyfer. But I don't know. I got a feeling he was in a big spot here. I got a feeling a fight against Abus Magomedov is the direction the UFC goes for Joe Pyfer. They give him another chance to break into the top 15. And Abus is a beatable guy at number 15. And Pyfer's power could be a key difference maker. And we've seen Abus also fatigue late in fights. So kind of a favorable matchup, that number 15 guy for Joe Pyfer. And I wouldn't be surprised if the UFC gives him the push. He did land big shots. He did get big knockdowns. But yeah, in a 5-rounder, I worry about him against some of the better guys in the world. I think he struggles. I do. I think when he fights some of the best, things can change. It's so crazy. Like, RoboCop's not even ranked in the top 15. At 14, you got Kopylov. At 13, DeRitter. Paulo Costa at 12. I mean, he might be on his way out of the rankings. But, like, listen, it's a logjam division. The middleweight division has a lot of good fighters. Like, so Roman Dolidze. I feel like Joe Pyfer, Abus Magomedov is probably the fight. Now, for Kelvin Gastelum, definitely keep him on the roster. He's supposed to be fighting at 170 pounds, but he never will. He won't. He won't, man. But fun fights are there. I mean, is it crazy to go Kelvin Gastelum versus Michel Pereira? Put that fight together if they want to give him something? Fuck, does he want to go up to light heavyweight at this point? Kelvin, fuck it. Let's get him up to light heavyweight. Kelvin Gastelum at light heavyweight. I don't even care. Let's go for that. You know? Something like that. I'm looking at the rankings. I don't know. Michel Pereira kind of makes sense, but who knows? Kelvin might need a layoff. He took a lot of big shots to the chin, but the chin held up. So respect to the legendary Gastelum chin. I thought Pyfer decision, and it turned out to be it. So good win for Pyfer, and I think Abus next. Co-main event, Kayla Harrison, Julianna Peña. This was the expectation, but maybe surpassed a little bit even, because she got the finish early come round number 2. Kayla Harrison pressured Julianna Peña from the jump, took her down, round number 1, worked from top position. Peña couldn't really do anything from the bottom. She was gritty. She was tough. Threw some illegal up kicks in round 1 and then got the fight stood up to finish out the round, but point deduction as well. So 10-8 first round. Kayla was on her like glue from the jump. When she dragged her to the ground, we knew what we were going to get. Kayla's smother control is next level. Striking didn't look bad either. She brought good pressure to Julianna Peña. Round number 2, more pressure from Kayla. Striking back from Peña, but nothing flush landed. I mean, she landed 9 significant strikes. You know what I'm saying? Some of them probably from bottom position. Kayla Harrison pressed her up, dragged her ass to the ground. When she got her down, there was a difference in strength. Peña was fighting the takedown pretty good for a bit, but eventually on the ground, Harrison controlling position, half guard, head and arm position, tight head and arm position. And it was actually a setup, a really nice setup. Head and arm position towards the cage to slowly but surely work towards a Kimura. And she gets the tap in round number 2, Kimura, and becomes the champion. Badass grappling from Kayla Harrison. Her positional control off the chain, her patience to shoot for submissions is something that I'd preach for the men's division. Some of these guys overshoot subs, positional control over everything, and slowly but surely the submission may open itself up, and then you take advantage. That's exactly what Kayla did, and she became the champ. Good grappling fight IQ, next level, as expected from Kayla Harrison. And she beat Julianna Peña. Amanda Nunes is clearly next for her. I'm trying to see, like, does she solve the Amanda Nunes puzzle, though? I got to bring up Amanda Nunes' tapology for myself. I have to see. I have to really see, because I want to see the range difference. Obviously, Kayla Harrison, grappling skills are next level. Amanda Nunes, officially coming back. They faced off in the cage, which I thought was awesome. Hasn't fought since her destruction of Irene Aldana. She is 37. Not old. 5'8", 69-inch reach. Kayla Harrison, I think she got a 66, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check. Maybe it's a 68. 66, 5'8" with a 66-inch reach. So a little bit taller for the side of Amanda Nunes. Obviously, Nunes known for a lot of punching power. She got 13 KOs. There's grappling defense with Amanda Nunes normally. Now, to be fair, she couldn't finish Julianna Peña when she fought her in 2022, but that was a long time ago. Thing is, Nunes hasn't fought in 2 years. A 2-year layoff could be a big factor, and it's going to be another few months before they get this fight booked. If we're lucky, we get it in the fall. This is the biggest fight in women's MMA, period. You know, the competition level for Nunes as of recent, right? It's been a while since she was fighting the Savages. Julianna Peña was a dog. In 2022, she was also not washed, to be fair. She fought a better Peña. That was 2022. Aldana 2023. It's been a long time, man. So it's going to be like a 2.5-year-ish layoff for her. Then she's going to fight against 19-1 Kayla Harrison. Definitely the punching power of Amanda Nunes could be a key difference maker. The thing is, Kayla Harrison's takedown game and grappling control is a problem. And I can see Amanda Nunes frustrated under Kayla Harrison and getting smothered, beaten up, and potentially subbed. We've seen Amanda Nunes wilt. I could see Kayla Harrison break her with control. I could see an aging Amanda Nunes getting beaten up on the ground, kind of looking for a way out and then tapping and saying, Kayla, you're the best. Especially they knew each other for a long time. Like, I feel like there's a lot of mutual respect. They're at the same gym. It could be like Amanda Nunes accepts like some type of passing of the torch to Kayla Harrison as one of the women's GOATs. Could you guys see that, or am I tripping? Let me know in the comments. But if you ask me right now who's going to win, I think it's going to be Kayla Harrison. I think she's going to break Amanda Nunes with grappling pressure. Not saying that it's impossible for Nunes to win. It's fucking Nunes. And I'm not saying Nunes on the feet isn't way better than Kayla and could potentially knock her out. What happens if Amanda can't knock her out and Kayla sticks to her like glue and wears her down with the grappling pressure and control? I could see Amanda wilting under that pressure at 37, over 2 years retired. So definitely a factor. Now for Julianna Peña, where does she go next? I mean, you could give Raquel that rematch, to be honest with you. That fight was kind of controversial. I don't know if she's going to want to fight anymore. She definitely doesn't have to fight anymore. She kind of has the mentality, though, that I get the vibe. She ain't retiring. I mean, Julianna Peña versus an Irene Aldana could be a cool fight to do. I doubt they do it at Noche, UFC San Antonio now, because it's not in Mexico anymore. But there's fights on the horizon. I think a little layoff for Peña. She is 35, so retirement, not a terrible idea. It's not that 35 is old, though. It's just, I don't know. It could be it for Peña, you know? She peaked a little young. She's been in the UFC a long time. I think there's a possibility that we've seen the last of Julianna Peña. But if she is to come back, Aldana's on the table for sure. Could even do an Eileen Perez fight. That'd be pretty interesting. But for Kayla Harrison, we know what's next. And it's a big chance to take out the greatest in women's MMA, Amanda Nunes. And I very much look forward to that fight. I am very excited. The women are fucking holding the fort down. Amanda Nunes coming back is a major fight. That's a good fight card. That's a pay-per-view. Nunes is the only woman that could pay-per-view, and that could be a pay-per-view main event. I look forward to it. Let's jump to the main event. If you guys haven't, make sure you smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Merab Dvalishvili deserves all of the praise. He is a literal machine and one of the best bantamweights ever. And I'll stand here and say it and take it on the chin that the Sugar Show got handled the second time, and it didn't look any better. Now, to be fair, round number 1 early, his striking was looking slick. He was moving a lot. He was staying away from Merab, throwing good straights. But Merab can still box. Merab still landed some good punches. He was an amateur boxer, too. People forget. He won the Golden Gloves. Merab was just relentless pressure, just tornadoing people. Sean O'Malley got pressed backwards and then taken down. He was winning the early portion of round 1, then taken down and controlled to finish out the round. He got up late. He was controlled for a vast majority of the round and some ground and pound from Merab, and O'Malley couldn't do anything from bottom, similar to last time. Round number 2, O'Malley looked better. Round number 2, O'Malley's takedown defense was crazy. Was staying on the feet with Merab. Both guys were landing shots, but I thought O'Malley landed better shots in round 2. Big straight punches that were clean. Pushing Merab back, knocking him off balance. Teeps up the center, but the straights were the key in round 2. Defending these takedowns, facing Merab after getting tight shots. Sean O'Malley's takedown defense in round 2 looked great. Merab was relentless with his pressure attack and even landed some strikes of his own with heavy punches towards the cage, wide hooks, his wild blitz that he likes to do that's very effective. But O'Malley, I thought, was the matador to Merab the Bull, and I scored the second round closely towards O'Malley. I did think he was in the fight. But come round number 3, everything changes when Merab is relentless with the takedowns, gets O'Malley down, controls him, beats him up, picks him up, drops him down, press him up against the cage. O'Malley's fighting it hard as he can. O'Malley's working back up to his feet, but Merab is just relentless on the takedown attack. And like O'Malley, he looked good, but he wilted. He wilted, man. And then Merab gets like the front headlock position in a scramble as O'Malley's trying to get under him and get back up to his feet. Merab squeezing the front headlock. Really, it's like a modified ghillie into kind of like a ninja choke mix. And then next thing you know what, it ends up, they have it listed as guillotine. Nah, I'd call that a north-south choke against the cage. Merab has it locked in and O'Malley's forced to tap come round number 2 with 18 seconds left in the round. It's like, what if he survived? Well, he didn't. Merab broke him. He submitted him. He looked more dangerous than ever. He looked stronger than ever before. He looked more physically fit than ever before. And he beat Sean O'Malley, who was, supposed to bring the UFC back with Marquee W and get some fandom on him with the superstar status. But Merab has got the legendary fighter skill status, so it is what it is. O'Malley's a real slick striker, but could not deal with the relentless wrestling / control-based attack. But even the striking of Merab, it's not like Merab is just a wrestler. His wrestling's so good that his striking works and his boxing barrages of wild hooks are accurate and effective, and he backs people up and makes them uncomfortable on the feet. He was hitting O'Malley hard, and he locks him up in a sub, grapple fucking him and just breaking him down. And in round 2, I think O'Malley's like, I can't beat this guy. He gave up on himself. You saw it as he was taken down again against the cage. You saw his eyes. He went, fuck. And he wilted under the pressure, and Merab found the opportunity and broke him. Merab broke him, first and foremost. O'Malley wilted under pressure because Merab broke him. Give praise and credit where it's due. I am. Merab's the fucking man. And after the fight, he makes the call out to Corey Sandhagen, who's an interesting new challenge, instead of doing the Umar Nurmagomedov rematch, which I do think comes eventually, but I think Corey Sandhagen first is better. Corey Sandhagen first is a lot better. And I'm really interested to see how Corey Sandhagen game plans for a Merab, because I don't feel like he can deal with the pressure attack. The only way to win is a flying knee for him. And I don't think he gets that. I think Merab probably grapple fucks him too. But Corey Sandhagen and O'Malley, I need a new fight. Do not book a rematch. Do not do the Umar fight. We have to do Merab versus Sandhagen now. And I think it could be relatively soon because Merab came out of this fight essentially unscathed. Petr Yan's fighting Marcus McGee. Umar Nurmagomedov remains unbooked. I'll say this. Sean O'Malley versus Corey Sandhagen could eventually happen, and I still think it's a really intriguing matchup, but not going to be next. I think Corey for the belt. Is it wild that I like Sean O'Malley versus a guy like Song Yadong? But I don't know if he even wants to take that type of fight. I have no idea with O'Malley. Does he want to fight like a Rob Font instead? Give him a real step down the ranks and maybe a more winnable chance? The Song Yadong surging right now, coming off the W against Cejudo, put up a good fight against Petr Yan. I like the Song Yadong O'Malley fight a lot. I just don't know if O'Malley would accept it. And they may go Umar Nurmagomedov versus Song Yadong because neither are booked at the moment. I know Umar had some health issues he had to get past, some injury woes. I'm unsure what the UFC decides. But what I'll say is this. What we learned, Merab's relentless pressure really is that good. His wrestling really is that amazing. And his submission threat that now he's bringing to the fights, next level shit. O'Malley definitely adapted and got better since last time, but I think he's saying to himself, damn it, I gave up smoking weed for that long for what? I still lost. I lost worse this time. I hope he comes back. It's just, we know O'Malley amongst the elites. It's just, he's not the elite. He's amongst the elites. He's really good. But O'Malley's not the best in the world. He's not Merab level. And I don't think he touches the belt again, which is unfortunate to say, but unlikely. He'd have to have some crazy ass turnaround. Maybe, Merab retires. O'Malley's still in it. Somehow he'd have to beat an Umar, which seems unlikely. Maybe eventually we get that fight for a belt. We'll see. But right now it's Merab's time at the top. And I don't see Corey Sandhagen as the guy to dethrone him. I think it's Umar still. I think Umar is the guy to eventually beat him, but I emphasize on eventually. Song Yadong, like I said, though, he's in the mix. If it's not Song and Umar, if it was Song and O'Malley, if Song went out and won that fight, Song Yadong versus Merab Dvalishvili is a really interesting matchup, especially because Song has such a low center of gravity. Could his boxing actually be the kryptonite style to Merab's relentless wrestling pressure? That's a dope-ass fight. I want new fights for Merab. That's what I'm really getting at. Obviously, Umar's elite, but I'd rather Umar fight somebody else, work his way back, maybe win one or two more, maybe even two more, and Merab fight against New Blood. I want to see the Sandhagen fight first, but I'm telling you, that Song Yadong fight versus Merab is intriguing. And it was supposed to be Patchy Mix would then make a splash and fight one of the elite guys and then fight for a belt, but obviously he got handled. Mario Bautista in the future could be a really interesting fight for him. Mario Bautista Song Yadong fight, and then, the winner could end up fighting for the belt. That's not out of the question. I think the UFC should not force us into another Merab rematch. I think he needs I think two more new fights. Corey Sandhagen first, and then I would rather a new fight afterwards if Song Yadong or Mario Bautista remains on a win streak, whether they fight each other, whether they beat somebody else. I don't know. I just want some new matchups. I do think Umar's going to eventually hold the throne, though. I really believe it. He's 29 years old. I think Umar Nurmagomedov beats Sean O'Malley, man. I think the grappling would be too much. And I don't think Sean wants that fight against Umar. I think it's a bad idea. Don't need Ireland taking another L. An O'Malley L against the Nurmagomedovs? Come on. Can't be afforded right now. Merab's the man. He looked amazing. And him versus Corey Sandhagen's a dope fight. And I don't think Corey can solve the puzzle, man. I don't. I think Corey's really good, though. And I just like that it's a new matchup for the defending champ and the dominant champ, Merab, who I think needs to expand his legacy beyond Sean O'Malley, Umar Nurmagomedov, or Petr Yan. I think new fights are needed. And I think Sandhagen's the perfect matchup for him. And I think O'Malley's in a rebuild. If they don't want to give him a Song Yadong, you could push him down the ranks. You could even book a fight against Davison Figueiredo, who's lost a couple in a row. Both guys on 2-fight losing streaks. I don't think that's a far-fetched idea either. That's definitely a possibility too. I don't hate that. And O'Malley has a big length advantage, but Figgy can still crack for sure. Figgy coming off the injury, though. He might not come back from that. Vinicius Oliveira making a run. I doubt him and O'Malley fight, but it'd be cool if they did eventually face off. I don't know. O'Malley's Song Yadong, but it's just I don't know if they want to book him amongst, the elites. If they want to give him a step down, O'Malley just gets a little showcase fight. He can style on somebody again. They get a nice knockout, rebuild his hype a bit, as opposed to throwing him to a legitimate threat and a guy that could beat him in Song Yadong. But I do like Song Yadong eventually for the belt. I don't know. Him and Merab is a cool matchup. Mario Bautista and Merab's cool. Obviously, Corey Sandhagen. There's a lot of interesting fights that are not Umar, Petr Yan, or Sean O'Malley that they should make for Merab before going to one of those rematches. Personally, I think Marcus McGee versus Petr Yan is kind of a nonsensical matchup. If McGee goes out and wins, now he's amongst the elite, but I think Yan does win. Yan versus Umar Nurmagomedov has spoke to me, and I really would love to see them book that fight. And that would be like a legitimate ass dope matchup. Holy hell. We'll see what Umar's timeline of return looks like. See what the timeline of return for, Petr Yan will be, who's fighting in July. And we'll see when O'Malley wants to get back in there. But I'll say most likely O'Malley in a hard fight against Song Yadong, or maybe in a bit of an attempted tune-up fight against somebody down the ranks a bit, like the likes of Rob Font, Davison Figueiredo. Unsure what the UFC decides, but we will find out, and, we'll get some news on it soon. If it was up to me, I go Song Yadong. Fuck the tune-up. Give him a savage fight. Him and Song's a dope matchup. And maybe he can get some hype back. He gets a win. Or if not, fuck it, bro. Song amongst the elites. The UFC, best fight the best. It is what it is. Main event win, Merab. Good W. I want to recap the picks. I want to go over the parlays as well. But first things first. Let's jump at the predictions. All right? Let's look at the picks for this card. In the main event, obviously, you guys know I took an L. Listen, I went 10-3 on the card, though. But I had O'Malley. I thought he would find a way. Merab wilted him. Respect to Merab. Co-main event, Kayla Harrison, money call. Joe Pyfer, part of the Lock City parlay, comes through dominantly. Perfect pick there. Lost, obviously, I had Patchy Mix. Bautista gave him a fat L. The Bellator guys, you got to pick against. Kevin Holland pick was on the money with Luque. Van to get it done, and the over 2.5 being a part of the Lock City parlay comes through, so big W there. Murzakanov, first round knockout, perfect pick there. Had Spivac to win, but I recognize it's a close fight, and Waldo beating him in a competitive matchup. Good W for Waldo. He proved he can defend the grappling. Had Gustafsson as a savage dog against Khaos. He comes through. Had Wang against Silva. Money call there. You by KO was the pick, and shit, he performed even better than you'd expect, but I thought a good performance was coming, and he's going viral now. Big W for Ju saying you. Nice, perfect pick there. Had Salkilld decision, perfect call there, and Mederos decision, perfect call there. So overall, I will rate my predictions as pretty damn good for this card. I'm happy with them. Now, I do want to recap the parlays, all right? Let's bring them up. I tell you guys all the time, the confident ones are consistent hitters. The big five come through once again. The safe but boring on the money with Pyfer Van. The safe-ish call with Pyfer, Harrison, and Murzakanov locked in. The should hit absolutely did hit with Harrison, Van, Silva over 2.5. The Pyfer Lock City parlay with Van and Silva's over 2.5, which was a savage lock of the week for me. Plus 105 when I called it, but it came like plus 125, plus 130 if you played it later on in the week like yesterday. And then Pyfer, Harrison, Murzakanov, Van Silva over 2.5 plus 190. So the confident parlays consistently hitting. Of course, the D-Gen shit just misses. O'Malley losing, doesn't cash the plus 1,800. And the doggy style, savage play, the big plus monies don't come through. But at the end of the day, consistent quality parlay winners are always given out. And I'm happy about the results nonetheless when it comes to these W parlays. Now, the card overall, I feel like I'll be a schmuck if I don't give it an 8. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I thought there was really nice fights on the prelims. If you're watching the full cards, you enjoyed an 8 out of 10. Just the main card, maybe a little bit more underwhelmed. But Holland looked sick against Luque. Bautista and Mix was a great fight and a big fraud check. Pyfer looked pretty good early, but obviously the finish wasn't great for him. Gastelum came on strong. Harrison looked tremendous. I would say it's a good card, at least 8 out of 10. You can't be a complete schmuck. Can't be a greedy schmuck expecting too much. It was a good UFC card that delivered. It was a good UFC card that delivered quality violence, entertainment, and high-level MMA. And, I'll ask for more with UFC 317, but for what UFC 316 was, I'm happy with how it turned out. Now, make sure you guys smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe it up. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the fights. What do you think? Were you happy with it? What would you score it out of 10? Would you go 8 out of 10 zone? You say it's a good card? What do you think about Dvalishvili holding that belt? Is he the bantamweight GOAT? Do I have to just accept it now? He probably does break Dominic Cruz if they fought too. Harrison versus Peña is going to be sick. Kevin Holland still got some life left in his fighting career. Actually, Mix getting checked bad. Holy hell. I'm excited for next week's card. We got Usman Buckley next week. I'll be dropping full card predictions actually later today if you're watching this on Sunday. So keep your eyes locked into the channel. W in the comments if you got nothing to say. I love everybody. Thank you guys for watching. I'm signing off. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.